Gangtok is synonymous with tourism in the East District. The capital of the state boasts of beautiful monasteries, waterfalls, and clean roads. But there is a lot more to East than the capital. And the best way to explore would be to take the less traveled 2 circuit, starting from and ending at Gangtok. And my first destination would be this little known place called Aritar. Having known little about the place, I reached there with no expectations.
Taking a short walk towards the Aritar lake. It's only been a few hours here in Aritar, but this is already one of my favorite places in Sikkim. No tourists whatsoever. Loving it.
Located on the Silk Route, the main attraction of this place is the lake. I was elated to find it to myself on both days of my stay here. The best mode to explore any hill station is by foot. And in Sikkim, the perfect way would be to hike to the monastery. Every village has one located at the hilltop, and that gives you the best view of the place. That is what I did in Aritar, and that is what I did throughout my stay in Sikkim. I loved Aritar. Something about the place is calming. Lack of tourists did help. Zuluk, my next destination on the Eastern Circuit. And as I kept riding on the circuit, the mercury level started dropping. Zuluk is a small beautiful village which remained enveloped in clouds during my stay. The weather is unpredictable here. The locals were barely seen in town, forget the tourists. Most shops were shut, and people in fact were waiting for snowfall which would clear the weather. I tried staying indoors too, but not for long. Zuluk, the name that had been etched in my mind for years. Zuluk is popular for its zigzag route, the route with 32 hairpin bends, most of which is visible from a couple of viewpoints, which are no longer than half an hour's ride from Zuluk town. I had longed to witness them. Longed.
This is the Thambi viewpoint. The weather here changes dramatically. A couple of minutes back it was clear and it's now enveloped in fog and clouds. You got to be very lucky to get a view of that, and I have been so.
I was lucky and grateful for Zuluk, but it was just the beginning of my eastern adventures. The roads to Nathang were freezing. The visibility was barely a few meters. And while all this does sound exciting, at that very moment, I was scared. I just wished to complete the circuit unscathed. Nathang is similar to Zuluk, except that it is colder. The mountains open up, providing a clearer view in all directions.
This is Nathang Valley. It's very cold here, but these are the kind of places you'd want to visit that make you uncomfortable. It's a huge valley, but I haven't seen a lot of tourists here. I haven't seen anyone here.
Plants froze and formed flowers of ice. The valley was covered in white too. Sunlight hardly hit the ground for a few minutes, and when it did, the whole valley shone like a diamond. With increase in elevation, the mountains carried a rugged look. I was now on my way to the old and new Baba Harbhajan temples. The temples have their own legend, stories, and unshakable faith among devoted followers. Changu Lake and Nathula are among the most popular places in Sikkim, and these were my last destinations on the Eastern Circuit. Changu is a high altitude lake, while Nathula is a high altitude pass between India and China, which forms for an adventurous ride as well as interesting landmark for the tourists.
Behind me is the pristine Pass-Tsomgo Lake, better known as Changu Lake. Right there is the Nathula Pass, the Indo-China border, at a height of 14,000 feet. How's it?
I finally ended at Gangtok, back to where I started from, to complete the East Sikkim circuit. East has been a tough ride. The roads were broken, the towns are cold. There are permit issues, which is not hassle-free. But the beauty is raw and unspoiled, and the people warm as they have been everywhere throughout the state.